Hey there everybody, just Marco here with another one for you. If you haven't guessed from these two, I'll be doing a camera backpack video today. I warned you I'd be doing one, and here I am doing one. Anyways, this is a 25-liter backpack and this is a 20-liter backpack. So those of you who aren't into backpacks that big, you can tune out now because this will just be a waste of your time, and the last thing I want to do is waste your time. Right, so this here is my old backpack. They've got a newer one now, which is almost identical and weighs the same. Actually, the weight is something I want to bring up a little bit later. This is probably the most popular professional camera backpack of all time. I believe it still is, and it's not the Peter McKinnon bag, but this is the bag that Peter was rocking before he designed his own line of bags with his signature on them. They're gorgeous. The criticism is they're a little bit overpriced. You can get one of these for considerably less, especially if you buy a version 1 like this one. And this is half the cost of this. Let's get into this.
I'm reinventing myself. I'm me and nobody else. Ooh, I can't help but smile.
This is the OG bag I was talking about, the one that Peter McKinnon used to rock before he had his own line of bags. This is the Lowepro ProTactic 450AW. As I mentioned, they have an AW2 now. Very similar bag, almost identical. In fact, it's got all the same features, although the top section here is designed slightly different. But as far as the functionality goes, basically the same bag. And it's got all kinds of accoutrements. You know, this bag, when it was released, this bag has been used by countless professional photographers since it was released. It's sort of the bag that all other high-end camera bags have been modeled after since. But if you want the original, this is the one right here. Now, if you buy the original, this one, not the version 2, you may get a better deal buying one of these bags used. I'm currently selling this bag. Spoiler alert, yes, I am going to get rid of this bag in favor of the new one that I'm going to show you later. But this has got all the little features that have been copied by the other bags. It's got this military style mole, I guess is what they call it, that you can hook things onto. And here we've got the accessory straps that come with this bag. You can add to this bag. There are other things that Lowepro has that you can buy to add to this, so you've got that flexibility. This guy right here, you can see by the logo, I mean, these all come off, right? This is for your tripod. You just stick one of the legs in here, and then the rest of the tripod goes onto the back. Now, downside of putting your tripod on the outside of this thing is if you plan on using this as a carry-on, that's kind of no bueno on an airplane. They don't like that. It gets a little bit too big this way if you are putting a tripod on the back of this thing. That's actually one of the advantages of the other bag I'm going to show you, because the way the tripod goes onto the outside of that, you can actually use it as a carry-on bag. This, you can't really do that. Now, I have put the tripod inside this bag before, but unfortunately when you do that, it uses enough of the volume inside that I can't put all my other equipment in it. So although this is a 25-liter backpack, that new 20-liter backpack I have actually fits more stuff, because I am able to put the tripod on the outside of that bag and still use it as a carry-on. So just something to get out there right away. It's actually one of the primary reasons I am selling this bag. And on the side here, we've got this little accessory that you can remove. This is for your water bottle. And if you turn around this way, we've got this little guy here. I put my, my chargers in here or whatever. You can put your extra batteries in there. Although I opt to put my batteries in these little pockets. These straps, this is the waist strap. This comes in very handy if you're carrying really heavy stuff. It can really take a load off your shoulders having this waistband. Some people won't buy a camera bag unless it has one of these waistbands. The new bag does not have one, but the new bag is carrying much lighter equipment than I was carrying with this bag. This kind of thing is not required anymore, but some people still will not buy a camera bag unless it's got one of these waist straps, but they do come off if you decide you want to take them off. And each one of these, like both sides I'm saying, have these little zipper pockets. A lot of people like putting their batteries in here. They like putting their lens cloths in here, things that you want to access quickly. Very nice having these guys here. Anyway, so security, right. So like a lot of these bags, this is one of the first bags to do it. The access is on the back. The reason you want this, and it's kind of funny because a lot of noobs, I kind of hate using the word noobs, but you know, because there are a lot of smart noobs out there. But I have heard noobs say in the comments that they hate the fact that a lot of these camera bags do access from the back. Now, if you didn't know, I know most of you do know, the reason we've got the access at the back is if you're traveling in, you know, maybe one of those neighborhoods, you know the neighborhoods, right? Where you're kind of worried about whether you're gonna get robbed or not. You can't access your expensive gear from the back. That's the whole idea. And this is actually the complaint I've heard about some of these bags, which is kind of crazy because see that? I've actually blacked out the Lowepro logo here on the bag just so I was kind of hoping to deter people from looking at my bag too much or paying too much attention to it, thinking, oh, there's some expensive camera equipment in there, because some people do recognize the Lowepro name. I've left it on the front, but I did black it out here on the back with some black textile fabric paint. This area that's against your back, it's got this active zone thing they call it. It's supposed to make it a little bit cooler having this against your back. Does this work? No, it doesn't. You got these little holes and stuff, supposedly for ventilation. This is gonna get hot regardless. It's gonna get hot regardless of what bag you've got. I don't know, maybe it helps a little bit, but I don't think so. These straps are very comfortable. These little loops are really handy. Most bags have these little loops. You can hang things like your carabiners or whatever. So I'm sure most of you are familiar with the way these camera bags are on the inside. They're fully configurable. You can move around these little pieces however you wish. Right now it looks a little bit convoluted. I'm constantly changing the way these are configured inside as my equipment needs change. These guys here are actually from another camera bag, but I am including it with this bag when I sell it. This bag has been completely, you know, cleaned. It's been professionally cleaned for sale. So correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I do believe that Lowepro pioneered adding these access doors on both sides of the bag. Now, this is something a lot of manufacturers are doing now, although a lot of them only put a door on one side. The reason Lowepro put one on both sides is to accommodate left and right-handed people. So the way these work is that you drop the strap on one shoulder and you can swing the bag around kind of sling bag style, and from the side you can quickly access your camera without having to take the whole bag off to access the back door. You're going to want to put your camera into one of these bottom corners. So where I've got this water bottle holder, I've got my access door here behind it. You're probably not going to want to put your water bottle holder on there if you decide this is the side you're going to have your camera. Anyway, there you go. There's the spot for your camera. So some people, when they see this cap on top, think that this is a hard case bag. It is not. It's just a heavily padded bag. But this cap here is a semi-hard cap. And what it's really nice for is, one, making this bag look modern and kind of cool, but something that it's really handy for is actually putting things that are a little bit more delicate up here and things you want fast access to. I like putting my audio stuff up here because things like microphones are a little bit more delicate, and I like putting those things up here. And those are things that I like to get to pretty quickly. And this little guy here, you can actually put things right in under the cap as well in here. And here, as denoted by these little icons, you can put your memory cards and stuff in there. I don't put mine in there, but you know, that's what these are intended for, little pockets like that. I'm usually carrying around a lot more than one extra card, and I'm not going to stick one in there. So something every well-equipped camera bag can't go without is a place to put your laptop or your tablet, and this bag is no exception. Up here is a beautifully padded pocket here for either one of those devices, and here in the front are these pockets that I really like using for like cables and stuff like that. Up here, sometimes I'll have little tools and stuff like that, extra propellers for my drone, what have you. If you're one of those that's easily confused, you do have your little icon here to indicate this is a good place to put your laptop. So of course, while I'm shooting this, the city decides to set up outside my window to fix the road, but then again, I'd be complaining if the road was in bad shape too, right? Yeah, anyway, so this is the new backpack right here. It's the K&F Concept Beta backpack. It comes in several different colors, and the aesthetic is one of the reasons I wanted this bag. It's very stylish in my opinion. This is the gray or dark gray, charcoal, and black version of the bag. It comes in an all black version. It comes in a gray and blue version, a gray and orange version. They all look great, but I opted to go with the gray and black. I think it looks really sharp. And, you know, I was feeling a little jealous seeing some YouTubers with these stylish bags that don't necessarily even look like camera backpacks. Now, the Lowepro isn't a terrible looking bag by any means, but I do prefer the look of this bag over the Lowepro. And you can see the form factor, it is a little bit more compact. It does have 5 liters less capacity, so with my more compact and lightweight camera equipment, I can fit everything I need to into this thing. I can even get my drone in here with my camera body and my lenses, chargers for the camera, the drone, the batteries, you name it. I can get all of it into this bag. And one of the things that allows me to do that is having this tripod on the outside. I had mentioned that putting this tripod inside the Lowepro bag is kind of a necessity if I want to use it as a carry-on bag, because the airlines don't really like this thing on the side or back of the bag. But putting it down here keeps it out of the way enough that it fits within the confines of what's considered cool as a carry-on for most airlines. So I do dig the way this straps to the bottom. It's very much like my Speedy 10 Manfrotto messenger bag, which also allows me to strap this tripod to the bottom. This is the Sure Traveler 5C, by the way, one of my favorite travel tripods, all carbon. One of the lightest tripods out there, and that is fantastic as well. So another kind of standout aesthetic wise, outside the fact that you've got this really cool looking charcoal color here, are these little guys here. Now, this bag has come under some criticism for these guys sort of not being very good, like popping open. I haven't found any issue. If you've got all your stuff in here and you've got these straps pulled snug, these do not come off. And I do like the fact that they do slide out the way they do, because I'm gonna wanna open this quickly. The reason I'm gonna wanna open this quickly is that if you want to access the back door, you're going to want to flip this open. Otherwise, you can't get to these zippers. And these zippers are what allows you to open up the bag. So before I open up the bag, I want to point out we do have these little icons again. This one denoting the place where you can put the handle of your luggage through at the airport. So that is the inside there. You can see that my 70 to 300 Tamron is in the bottom there. Not much else in here right now. Of course, we've got our laptop / tablet pocket here in the back. And we've got all our little accessory pockets here. These are awesome. I've got lens cloths in there. I've got the little tools for my drone, etc. This can be opened up, so it's one huge space. You don't have to use this as a separate compartment on top, although like the other bag, like the Lowepro, we do have access here on top for just this top section, if that's what you want to do. Right, so again, security feature, having this access at the back. Again, another thing that this bag has also been criticized for by the noobs. This is something that I would not change. I actually love the way this works. So like I'd mentioned, you can have the whole thing as one huge space inside, but because I'm very accustomed to having a separate area in the top, because I've been using the Lowepro for so long, I decided to do the same thing here. Now to access the top, you're still gonna have to flip this thing open because the zipper here is right in parallel with the other one. So if you open the top here, I'll show you what I've got in here. This is not included. All my action camera stuff is in here. I've got my rocket blower. I've got all my my filters here, and here I've got the cleaning kit, my sensor cleaning kit. Right, so very handy spot. We've got other pockets in here. We've got our little loop here. A lot of people like putting their keys on here. It's got this kind of quick release, so you can put your keys on there. I wouldn't necessarily do that. Now from a practical perspective, unlike the Lowepro bag that has all those loops on the back, since this doesn't have that, it is nice that it does have this zip pocket here in the front. Again, you can't access this unless you take the flap open, which again, very nice, because you don't want anybody accessing that shouldn't be. But in here, I just have things like, you know, my cables and stuff, some cleaning cloths, and business cards, things like that. So we do have the side pocket here, which is really nice. I like to put the rain cover in there. It does come with this. All good camera bags have one of these with them. If things get a little bit torrential, I'm talking about rain, you're going to want to put this over your bag. In most cases, you're not even going to have to use this actually, because this whole top section of the bag has got this rubber coating on it, which is going to do a great job. Actually, that's another good thing about having this flap over the whole thing, is that where you're going to get water into a bag is through the zippers, and because this covers the zippers from the top, it's going to help a lot when it starts to rain. But if things get torrential, you've always got this cover as well. So there you go. So as one would expect from any well-designed camera bag, you don't have to take the whole thing off your back to get to your camera quickly. You do have the quick access on the side like the Lowepro, but unlike the Lowepro, you only have one of these doors on the left side, on your left side when you've got the bag on. So that means that you drop the strap on your right side so you can swing it around, grab your camera out of here. You have to make some concessions as far as how compact this is and stuff. So that's cool that you've only got the door on the one side. So let me open this and show you something else. Here we've got more of those little icons, this one telling you can put your battery in here, this one for your memory cards. I'm not sure if I'll use either of these for what they're suggesting. I may put an extra battery here, I'm not really sure, but probably not. Maybe my cards, maybe. Anyway, but there you go. Now, the way you configure this bag on the inside, if you're kind of scratching your head as to what's going to work the best for you, well, something that I'm glad K&F did, and I'm sure other manufacturers have done this as well, although I haven't seen it, but I'm sure other manufacturers have done this. They've provided this little diagram that shows different ways you can configure the interior of the bag, and I really like number 3 here. It's perfect for compact mirrorless cameras with like a medium-sized lens. I don't usually have my 70-300 on the camera, so I can put that elsewhere in the bag. But number 3 here is the one I've been using, and interestingly enough, unlike my Lowepro bag where I was constantly changing up the way that bag was divided, so far, regardless of the gear that I'm taking along with me, I haven't had to change the layout of this interior yet. 3 has been the one that's worked basically for everything. So you might want to hold on to this little guy because they do have those little layouts in there. If you ever want to change things up, you do have those suggestions that they've given you there. So to summarize my feelings between these two bags, I've been loving this bag. It looks great, it's built really well, and now that I've reduced the size and the weight of my equipment, I can fit everything I have to into this bag. Now, most of the time, as I've said in other videos, I'm using my messenger bag, so I'm not having to bring all my equipment with me. I do like using a messenger bag. I'd rather take my messenger bag than a backpack any day. But if I do have to carry all my gear with me and on our future travels and so on, even on jobs, I'll be taking this very happily. But for those of you who are, you know, maintaining a lot of larger, heavier equipment, this is definitely a bag to consider. The version 2 of this bag right now lists for $200 US, which is a lot less than this bag actually used to cost. I think to compete with some other bags, they've sort of lowered the price on these, and I think it's part of the reason why this bag has remained competitive as well, other than the fact that it's got a lot of really great features. But this thing is built like a tank. If you've got your expensive gear in this bag, you've really got nothing to worry about. These bags can take quite a tumble and all your stuff inside is going to be just fine. So if you are one of those people that's still carrying around larger and heavier equipment at $200 US, at least that's what B&H has got this listed for right now, this isn't that bad a deal. But if you can get away with smaller, lighter equipment and maybe you want something a little bit more stylish, B&H has this on for $80 US. You can get these for even less than that on Amazon. That's where this was purchased. It is a beautiful bag. I've been very happy with it. So I'm certain that there are those of you out there who are like me, and you do, to some extent or another, care about the aesthetics of your camera equipment, especially your backpack, something that's on your person while you're out traveling or you're on a job, what have you. And it's kind of one of those luxuries, having bags like this be an option, that's been afforded to us by the fact that our equipment is getting smaller and lighter. And it's also flexibility that's been afforded to the designers of products like this, that they get to do away with all that padding that was necessary before for that heavier and larger equipment. And it does make for bags that are less utilitarian looking, in my opinion, better looking, and also lighter weight, and sometimes more affordable, like this. Anyway, I hope this one has helped some of you out there. If so, consider leaving me a thumbs up. If not, that's okay too. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of these in the future, please consider subscribing. And if you've got any ideas for future episodes, please leave those in the comments below. And until next time, keep working and make your chosen idea a reality. Peace.